Hey guys, and we are back with another video. We're in the bathroom as you can see, because my little ones are sleeping, so they go wake up for anything. And I took my husband's intro because I don't have one yet. So until then, I'm using his. So we're gonna start off with the topic of being a teen mom. So as most of people know, I got into a serious relationship when I was 13, and I know who does that, being 13, getting into a relationship. Yeah, clearly I didn't listen, didn't care. So when I was 14, going into 15, I found that I was pregnant, and it was my mom who actually talked me into getting a test because I didn't want to believe it. I kept denying it. Every time someone asked me, I was like, no, I'm not, leave me alone, whatever. So my friend, at the time, she was with me, and I went ahead and took the test, and I was in complete denial. I looked at it, and I just started crying and laughing, and I was like looking at her, and I was like, how is this possible? I haven't did anything. Clearly it's possible when you're not using protection and you're young and stupid, you don't listen to your parents. So went to my mom. I just handed her the test and walked away. I was scared. Not scared of her, but I was terrified of my dad. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, what is my dad gonna say? He's gonna kick me out, he's gonna hate me, he is gonna hurt the guy, and it was just everywhere. So I just gave her the test and I walked away. I didn't say nothing to her. And I went to his house and I sat down. He was playing his video games, and so I just looked at him and I was like, I'm pregnant. And he just stopped, he froze. And he just looked at me and he was like, well, it's not mine. And I was in complete shock. I was dumbfounded. I was like, well, I mean, whose else is it gonna be? And he was like, well, you cheated on me, and we were just arguing. And I was like, you know what, I have other stuff to worry about. I have my dad I have to worry about. So I just got up and I went to leave, and he hit me. And then from there, I knew I couldn't leave. So we were just arguing until he calmed down or whatever. I was like, I have to go home. I gotta figure this out. So he was following me out his house because he didn't want me to leave, but I had to leave. And at the same time, I was like, if you don't think it's yours, why? Are you wanting me to stay? I didn't understand. So a few days went by, and I'm just sitting on the sofa, and my dad's in the other living room, and he's playing his game all happy, and I'm like, when is the right time to tell him? My dad was a really bad alcoholic. That's all he did was drink. He would walk around with a liter of natural ice in the soda bottle, all day, just drinking it like nothing. So, and when he's drunk, he gets violent. So I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So me and my mom went to the doctors, got checked, turned it out that I was going into being 6 months. And me and my mom just were looking at each other how? I didn't know anything. You couldn't, I was so skinny. I didn't even have a stomach. I had a little one, but me being me, I always was hungry, always eating, so I thought, well, I was just getting bigger because I was eating so much. But no, I had a little human inside of me. That's why I was getting bigger. So time goes on. I would walk around and just suck in my stomach. I would suck it in every time I passed by my dad. And it came to the point where I had to wear extra large sweaters because my stomach was just getting big. And for some reason, my dad didn't notice, but then again, he was always drunk. So I ended up going to school online because I want to say, in high school, everyone has the popular girls and this and that. My sister, she was with the cooler girls, I would say. We were all friends outside of school, but when it went to being in school, you were with your people. So um, I didn't really talk to anybody. I just had my best friend at the time, my sister's best friend. I would talk to her, and my boyfriend. But it was just like, I wasn't the cooler kids. I wasn't any of the cooler kids. I was the one that people made fun of. If like when I went on the school, like when I went on the bus, I would get fun of because I dyed my hair, or I did my hair a certain way, or I wore something. Um, and every time I was with my boyfriend, they wouldn't make fun of me because, like, they would do it on the download, but they wouldn't do it to the point where me or him would hear it because they were cool with him. But they already knew, like, he was toxic to everyone. So they didn't say nothing. But the times that he didn't go to school and I was there, they would start. And then I guess that's what pushed me to stop going to school, skipping school, and ending up pregnant and not caring because the friend that was my best friend, it got to the point where one time we were on the bus and she, like, they made fun of me about something. I think it was because of a jacket. It had like fur around it, and the guy started making fun of me. And my sister, being one of the cooler kids, I don't even think she was there that day, or she was just minding her own business. They started making fun of me, and she ended up going along with it. And so at that, I didn't say anything. I just still sat with her. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, no. At that moment, I realized maybe we weren't really friends. But that's how my years were in high school. And my first year only lasted not even a complete year, because when I found out I was pregnant, I ended up not wanting to go to school. Like, I was trying to hide it as much as possible. Because here we have a 14-year-old pregnant. Like, and no one else, like, that's just, yeah. So I ended up going online. And of course, people started finding out because I told one person, like, the one, yeah, and then they opened their mouth and they told another, and it just got everywhere. So it got to the point where people, the other kids' moms, they didn't want them around me because I was a teenager and I was pregnant and I had my whole life ahead of me, this and that. So I wouldn't say I got depressed because I didn't care. Like, I was in my own little world. I didn't care about any of that. I didn't care about school. I didn't care about having friends. Like, I didn't care about any of that. So I realized who my true friends were when I found that I was pregnant, because literally the person that was there with me, she, like, just stopped talking to me. Like, we grew apart, basically. And it was just different. Like, that hurt me because she was my only friend. But other than that, I didn't have any friends, so it was just like, whatever. I didn't care. But as time went by, it was hard being pregnant at 14 because, again, my dad always drank. So there was never a right or wrong time to tell him. So I literally kept it until I thought, like, okay, I'm ready to do this. My sister, she was always around, but I pushed her away because I didn't want to be with anybody. I'm 14 with a big old belly, walking around, nothing fit me. And I was so scared. So it was literally just me and my boyfriend, because I was pushing my mom away as well. So it was hard. It was hard being 14 and preparing to have a child. Like, you're a baby yourself, preparing to have a baby. So it was pretty hard. But I ended up preparing for it. I didn't know how, but mentally I was trying. And then at the same time I was getting abused. So it was like there's no way out. Like, my dad and my boyfriend, they didn't get along. My dad was always drunk. My dad was always threatening him because he knew that he was doing something. But me being me, I would just like make excuses for it and say, oh, we were playing baseball, so I got hit in the eye, or I ran into a wall. Like, I didn't really tell my dad anything. Like, he would see bruises, and I would just make stories up because I was scared. And I wasn't scared for myself. I was scared because if I would have told my dad the truth, my dad would have ended up in jail. So I just kept it to myself and kept it pushing. Like, whatever. My dad believed me, but I know deep down inside, like at that moment, he believed me, but I know now deep down inside, he really didn't believe me, but he knew he would have lost me if he would have said something. And he was just always drunk, and when he was drunk, like I said, he was violent, so I didn't want him to do anything stupid that I would lose him. So I dealt with it. I dealt with the abuse, just half of my pregnancy up to 7 months, because something had happened and they were all young and stupid, and they ended up getting in trouble. So we're gonna stop here, and we're gonna make that the next video, because that's probably more, I would say, interesting, I guess. I don't know, but thank you.